comments from members of the National Assembly talking about 24 years for President Ruto as president. We can always extend, chest thumping and all this. And this is what the Standard is calling blind loyalty. Do you think this is a fair assessment of your colleagues, mostly members of the National Assembly?
Thank you, More. And my comment on this is that it's in the public domain. When elected political leaders have kept lamenting very incisive statements, even in the presence of head of state. Sometimes you feel it's uncomfort because such kind of statement may be pronounced somewhere completely away from where the head of state is sitting. But when such statements are being made at the presence of head of state, and nothing is been taken as if it is law, then that is along the election. Because this country is under one roof of constitution. And once it appears as if it has been applied on a double standard, then there is a very big mistake there. I would expect that all of us should either to be under one roof of the constitution. And since we have, we know what's supposed to be done and what kind of statements can bring chaos to this country. I think some are completely unhealthy. But if you cite like my good friend from Baringo, Kamket, during the last regime, he was the biggest criticizer of William Ruto, including calling him very difficult names. Today, he appears on another face, now pretending now to be the one who has the key to deliver a president to 24 years. That is telling us this country may lose the path and move to what we call a banana republic if such statements are anything to do with it. Because this country is well known. It is 2 years term. If you serve the first one and the Kenyans decide that you have you have a mandate to secure another one, they are the one who gives you. Because Kenya is a civil country where we always move to what we call an election, which determines who becomes the president. But if you find leaders jumping, telling public in the presence of the president that even though we are not going to make it in 2027, we must be there. That is telling us that, in fact, there's something else that you want to tell us, you know, more than what we know. That some statements are not fair. Because let us all remember that even the current incumbent head of state was elected to the position. And it was so bitter when there was a notion of trying to rig him out. And especially the action that was done at Bomas of Kenya at the last minute of his pronunciation to be the winner of that election. And if himself could not have expected anybody to do anything against his public will, then nobody should utter a word to go against public will. Because if the public decides today, I am no longer going to be the member for Embakasi North, that is their decision and it is their mandate as per the law. And they have the prerogative to make choice when it appears to an election. Let us not bro this country into those kind of statements that it may bring issues thereafter. We have a history of this country, and especially at the last Kimbaki's election, 2027, where this country almost went to ashes. And we would not wish to take this country back there. So it is very important for politicians to check and filter their words, wherever they are, no matter whether we would want William to secure his re-election. Nobody is against. But the button and the decision is only anchored under the Kenya's decisions.
Okay. Bwana Manduku, it would appear that your colleagues, especially in the National Assembly, are stampeding, running and stepping on each other, trying to get to the podium to try and